everybody, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. Just a nice quiet Easter Sunday in my world. Had a nice lunch with my mom, just chilling out around the house. Going to go down to try to find a place to do a little exercise here in a little bit, just to get out of the house. And I thought I'd come to you with this video before I left. Now you're probably wondering the title of this video, or that might be such a weird title that maybe not that many people are going to click on it to even watch it. But basically the title of that, or you may have actually, you may know some people might know the reference. It's not terribly obscure, but it's about mindfulness. I was talking with somebody, posted something. It was Tuesday night, because I was in a hotel in San Jose, Costa Rica, spending the night getting ready to fly to the States on Wednesday, and somebody posted something, and you know how that goes on social media. Somebody posted something and it triggered, and I posted something by Thich Nhat Hanh, and I copied and pasted and kept that little passage in my notes. And I've been thinking about it. You know, it's something that mindfulness is something that is that I try to work on all the time, because I am one of the worst about just, you know, like always looking into the future, looking, not being in the present, not just being really present and aware of what's going on at the moment. And you know, the way it's very simple. We don't even know for sure. You know, the past is it's gone. It's just memories. The future we don't really know anything about. We can speculate. We can kind of have a good idea what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, I can't say we don't know anything. You know, most of us have routines and we do things, and we kind of expect what will happen, but we don't know. We really don't know. We don't even know if it exists. The only thing we actually know that exists, the only thing we can actually control, the only thing that we can actually experience is the now. So let me read this little passage to you. It's from Thich Nhat Hanh's book, The Miracle of Mindfulness. And I like this passage. I've had that book. Actually, I've had it in several. I've probably had one and lost it and had it a couple more times since, well, throughout the years. I've been reading him for some 20 years. So, if while washing the dishes we think only of the cup of tea that awaits us, thus hurrying to get the dishes out of the way as if they were a nuisance, then we are not washing the dishes to wash the dishes. What's more, we are not alive during the time we are washing the dishes. In fact, we are completely incapable of realizing the miracle of life while standing at the sink. If we can't wash the dishes, the chances are we won't be able to drink our tea either. While drinking the cup of tea, we will only be thinking of other things, barely aware of the cup in our hands. Thus, we are sucked away into the future, and we are incapable of actually living in a minute of life. Now think about that. How much of our life do we miss rushing through daily tasks, looking to the future, and as my mom used to say, wishing our lives away? I've gotten better with that. Like I say, that's still a struggle for me. I'm one of those, and I catch myself, even something in a video the other day. I keep talking about this, about when my current job ends, what I will be doing. Like there's this big build up to it. Well, that's 3 months from now. That's 90 days. I'm not a math whiz, so I won't break it down into hours and blah, 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 but that's a lot of time. 3 months is a lot of time. And who knows what can happen in those 3 months. There's a lot to be experienced in those 3 months. There's a lot of living to do. Now, I'm getting better at this, and I catch myself more and more and kind of just start, you know, more. I naturally practice mindfulness. I do this quite a bit when I'm walking, because when I'm walking, that's kind of my inside my space time. You know, when I'm at home, I'm making video, or when I'm at home, or I'm either home or working, I have things going on. I'm on the computer, I'm connected, I'm watching something, I'm reading something, I'm listening to something, I'm studying something. But when I'm walking, you know, other than the physical movement and seeing things around me, I guess walking is one of the closest times I actually come to living in the presence. And that's kind of ironic, because there's a lot of Thich Nhat Hanh stuff, and he has several videos. He's done a lot of talks, and he talks a lot about walking meditations. And the walking meditations make a lot of sense to me, because that is one of the times that I'm really, you know, aware of my surroundings. And I've kind of tried to become even hyper aware of my surroundings. There's times when I'm walking especially early in the morning. I noticed I did this last week, or not last week, but the last time that I shot video on the beach early morning. I had to get up, I had to walk somewhere it was about 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun wasn't fully up yet, and I'm walking, and some reason I'm more aware that time of the day, and I was just like trying to really focus on being as present as possible with all senses. I mean, I was walking around trying to see, what were the smells around me. I was very attuned to, there were birds. There's always lots of birds. You've heard in some of my videos in Costa Rica some of the nice birds you hear. Well, first thing in the morning, they're just everywhere. There's just like a symphony going on of different birds. So I'm walking, I'm seeing what smells I can pick up of, various plants, various flowers. I'm listening to the sounds of the birds. I'm looking around, I'm watching things. I'm trying to spot that bird. I'm trying to notice, if I see some movement, if I'm noticing things around me. So early morning when I'm walking, I'm really even more sensitive to these things and more aware. But when I'm walking in general, I'm pretty aware. And this it just really brings it back home to me about how many things around us that we miss, just because we are rushing. And I can be bad about that too. I shouldn't say that I'm always aware when I'm walking. It's like I can be very aware when I'm walking, and I can be very scattered when I'm walking. I've actually had people, friends around town or acquaintances around town, call me out on, they've actually sent me messages and stuff, kind of like, if they haven't really said the words, like, why were you ignoring me? Why were you trying to ditch me or whatever? And I'm like, oh, I'm not trying to ditch anybody. I'm like, I had no, and they came really close to me maybe, or I should have seen them, and they're like, well, and they almost, I kind of get the feeling like they don't believe me. But yeah, then sometimes I can, if I'm busy, especially middle of the day, certain times of the day, if I'm busy, like if I'm walking to something specific, like if I'm walking from my house and I need to be at work to do something, a lot of times I'm running things through my head. I'm running, if I'm meeting with somebody or if I have a particular task to do, I'm running things through my head. Ergo, I'm on cruise control on this walk. I'm not enjoying and tuning into the sights, the sounds, and the smells along that walk. So I don't know, the best I can do is just each day, try to get a little bit better at it and try to have longer periods and more periods every day. Sometimes it's not all, you can't make these big leaps at once, or I can't make these big leaps at once. I'm going to try to kind of change the way I say things sometime. I don't know about you. I like to use the collective you, like you should, you can't, you will, blah, blah, blah. But most of the time the you really means me. It means that I can't, take in all these things at once. And the older I get, I don't know, maybe you even get introspective because you realize, as you get older, at 51 is a lot different than 31, it's a lot different than 21. Hell, it's even a lot different than 41. You've got less time on this planet to be aware. So every day that I just kind of skate through, it's wasted time. Now, if I was given, a death sentence tomorrow of 3 months, 3 months would be a big chunk of time, because 3 months would be 100% of the time that I had left on this planet. And I know that if that were to happen, that I would look at that 3 months, that 3 month period a lot different than I do when it's like, well, 3 months is just the next 3 months, and then there'll be another 3 months and another 3 months and another 3 months. Well, we don't ever know how many days we have left, months we have left, years we have left. And it's not even about, just that, but it's just about, like, even if we have 50, 60, 70 years, if you're really young, left, or who knows, maybe I'll keep healthy and we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll live to be 130 years old. But, we never know. So we need to, or I need to, in my head, I need to be as aware of my time as possible. And when I am very much aware of my time, I'm very mindful, I'm not looking into the future, I just find the time to be so much, I see things that I'm like almost sometimes kind of surprised, and I'm like, wow, is that always like that? Is that always around here? Are those sounds always around here? have I noticed that smell before? And you notice a lot of the nice things of life that you're missing day to day. Very simple things most of the time, but they are things that you miss out on. So that is just something that is part of my path. I've been working on it for years. As I get my head a little bit more, I can be scattered. My energy can be scattered. My mind can be scattered. You know, it's like, that's why I do yoga. That's why I haven't been meditating in a while. I need to get back to that meditation. And the meditation is just kind of, there's different reasons for meditation. I don't do meditation for the same reason all the time. But a lot of the time it really just is for that purpose. It is just to slow things down, to stop the mind from racing, to stop thinking so far ahead, or to stop even thinking about so many things at one time, and just simply be aware of the presence and be aware of what's around me. Because, you know, you just never know. You never know what you're going to miss out on every day. And what I find is sometimes it's just like, it's a good little exercise for me. It always comes back to breathing. If I can just, like, you know, say, okay, stop, like you freeze frame time, and you just sit there and you take some deep breaths. It doesn't have to be like a formal meditation. I think I've mentioned this before, that, you know, if you're not familiar with meditation, or if you're like, yeah, meditation's not for me, or meditation's difficult, I've tried it, I just can't do it. It can be as simple as this, and don't even think of it as meditation. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's not. But just, you know, stopping, pausing, and just taking some deep breaths. And this is another little suggestion. I think it comes from another book. Just it's about awareness, from Thich Nhat Hanh, talking about just, it's not even counting breaths or really altering your breath. It's just being aware. And it's just kind of observing the breath. And you're just, when you breathe in, you're like, you're aware I'm breathing in. I'm aware I'm breathing out. And if you'll just, you know, if you'll sit or stand or wherever you are, lay down on the grass, and just breathe in and out for a little while, and be aware that you're breathing in and breathing out. That's a really good little exercise I've found that will bring you back to the present. Anyhow, really short one today, and I am going to cut off at this because, like I say, it's just like, you know, I think for me, I just believe that I'm missing out too much on life when I just get too much into my head of thinking about what comes next, what comes next, what comes next. It's always what comes next, and it's never now. And the fear is that it's like, okay, while I'm sitting here now, not aware of now, thinking about what comes next, when next finally comes, I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be sitting there thinking, okay, what comes after this? And then you're never, as that last little phrase in the reading, you're never really living. You're just always anticipating. And for me, I just don't want to go through life anticipating. I want to soak up as much of this experience as I can. Anyhow, just wanted to share that little one with you today. By the time you see this, you'll be into your new week. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'm here for another 10 days or so in the States. And I will see you guys again soon. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and I hope you had a beautiful weekend and did something nice with your family. I love you guys. Peace.